going on, guys? Another morning. The other day I did get some responses on my Instagram stories post. I saved those so that I could respond to them, and I didn't respond to them yesterday, but I'll respond to them today so you guys can see that. The first question from Instagram was from Shades Review, and it says, how does she ride? And just to let you guys know, I love the way that Ram trucks ride. It's one of my favorite trucks. They have the air suspension, and it's pretty nice and comfortable. And I'm going to let Shades Review know that here on Instagram. Shots by Chris asked the interior rating out of 10. Interior-wise, this is not the best interior, but for a Lone Star with the cloth seats, for a cloth seat interior, it's pretty decent. Maybe a 6. And H.W. Caldwell said, how comfortable are the cloth seats compared to the leather? Obviously the leather seats are really comfortable. They're nice. They have the heated and cooled functions. This, as the cloth seats are still really comfortable. Comfort-wise, I like them. Looks-wise, they're nice. I like the material that they used for these. They don't have the heated and cooled functions. I think that's probably my biggest, not gripe, but problem with having these. But yeah, let me respond to these really quickly, and we'll move on for the day. All right, the next question, interior rating out of 10. This is a hard one. I really like the interior as it goes for a cloth seats. It's probably about a 6. So this week has been a pretty tough week so far. Pretty tired today, with the kids coming back to school after a long break, and then starting this vlog and editing every night, and doing the exercise and stuff that I'm not necessarily used to. Got a lot going on, but having a great time getting this out. I also need to stop on the way home and get this right here taken care of. It's getting a little bit out of hand, a little bit ridiculous, but I'll get that taken care of. So the main point of the video today is talking about something that you're not supposed to talk about on YouTube, something that everybody will tell you don't even dive into, but we're going to dive into it. It's going to be a little bit of politics, a little bit of life philosophy, but we're going to get into that later because, once again, I got to get in. All right, guys, we're about ready to get into it, but first of all, this is I updated some settings on my iPhone, and hopefully this video looks better than it has been. But we want to get into the 5 pillars, or the 5 things that guide my life philosophy, political philosophy, and all that stuff. We're out for our walk during lunch, and let me sit down and we can talk. All right, guys, so ideal number 1 has to do with individualism. I really think that we're all individuals. I don't like the idea of groupthink. I don't like the idea of being put into groups. Everybody is their own individual self. So I don't like the idea necessarily of labels, unless they're really describing like a philosophy and not just a characteristic, I guess. Now obviously that has to do with like race, but it's a lot of other things where individuals are key over a collective or a group. All right, let's talk about item number 2, and that's limited government. Now, I know government size is a huge issue, and there's a lot of things on both sides, but just by a philosophy, we should limit government because we should limit the power and corruption of people. And the more power an organization has, the more apt that they'll have corruption. And having a government full of power and corruption is bad. If the power is with the people and the people are corrupt, well, the people can right that. But if the government is corrupt, it's really hard for the people to right a corrupt government. All right, number 3 is about peace. You've got to have peace in your life. You'll never have a happy, fulfilled life with being the aggressor all the time. And that goes for personal life, that goes for families, that goes for countries. It's not just a political philosophy, it's a life philosophy. You've got to strive for peace. Now that doesn't mean you can't fight for something that you love in. You can definitely fight, but you don't want to be the aggressor in situations, and anytime that you can, peace should be the first option. All right guys, number 4, well, we'll have to jump back into number 4 and 5 in a bit. I got something else to do really quick, and then we'll wrap this thing up. All right, yeah, it looks good. I need to work on this part right here, but this looks much better. So let's get back to our our points of the video. We were on number 4. Number 4 is tolerance. You've got to have tolerance for people, tolerance for other people's ideas. You have to have tolerance. That doesn't mean you have to give in to them. That doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but you need to have tolerance for people. Tolerance. I think that's a big thing that we're lacking in politics today, and even in just culture and civil society. We're missing tolerance. And last but not least, free markets. I'm all in favor of capitalism and free markets. Having the markets controlled by a government is not the answer. That doesn't mean that capitalism and free markets are perfect. Obviously they're not, but they are probably the most perfect that we've found so far. And it is the way, it's the best way for people to grow their income. It's the best way for people to be free. You can have free markets without freedom, but you can't have freedom without free markets, and free markets are definitely a key. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, the 5 pillars of my personal philosophy for life and politics. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. Maybe you want to disagree with me, disagree in the comments. But I thought it was important to get this out there because we will talk about some politics and you need to know where I'm coming from. So if you liked it, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.